All right, let's get right into it. So how we scaled pre-party from 70K a month to 400K a month in sales in 7 months with our data-driven creative system. I know that this is a bold claim, so just to show you that I have some proof behind those words, here is a screenshot of the Shopify backend. So basically, as you can see here, January 2022, the brand was doing around $72,000 in monthly sales. And by July 2022, we were able to scale them to almost 400K in sales. So we did $380,000 in sales, I think, gross sales. Without the returns, basically it was something like 360K on a monthly per basis. So that's basically what we were able to achieve for Pre-Party, a leading fashion and beauty brand. They're selling hair extensions. So if you're in the hair extension or beauty industry, you see that this growth curve is very possible if you execute it properly. So in this video, we're going to be discussing a strategy that basically you can implement if you're running an e-commerce brand and you're stuck at 7 figures and you cannot scale due to rising cost per acquisition or skyrocketing cost per acquisition basically every time that you try to increase your ad spend. Real quick, I just want to give you a bit of an information about myself. So my name is Lachazar. I know that my name is kind of complicated for you to pronounce. I'm used to it. So I run an advertising agency that helps e-commerce brands scale from 7 to 8 or multiple 8 figures, and we do this mainly by utilizing Facebook and TikTok ads plus direct response creatives that actually convert. This is actually more of our main focus because Facebook ads, TikTok ads, you know the drill. It's a more broad audiences than anything else, no specific strategies. So the biggest lever that you can pull is actually the creatives that you use in your advertising campaigns. So we have a full in-house team that produces UGC content creators. So we work with content creators to produce these videos. We produce static images and we also produce GIFs or short animated videos. So we offer the full spectrum of the creatives that you can basically use wherever you advertise. If it's Facebook, if it's TikTok, these are the only types of creatives that you might need. Currently, we're spending over $300,000 per month on Facebook ads and another $200K on TikTok ads. Now, I just want to show that this strategy is repeatable and it's also proven to work time and time again. And this right here is not just some lucky month, lucky year, and that basically we were in control of the results that we generated for Pre-Party. These are the results we generated for a window replacement company. Every single month, we are adding at least 100K in sales at an average 7x return on spend. So as you can see here, currently it's 28th of March. January, we did $10,000 in ad spend, $176,000 in sales, 10x return on ad spend. February, $18,000 in spend, 95K in revenue. March, 20K in spend, and $148,000 in revenue. Year to date, 50K in spend, 350K in sales, 7.02 return on ad spend. Here is basically us increasing the sales of a watch brand by 81%, as you can see here, in only 19 days after we took over, after they fired their previous agency. So 81% increase in sales. And then this is us again generating $1.8 million in sales in October. With a 60% increase compared to the month before for this health and wellness e-commerce brand. Just to make sure that you're not wasting your time, I just want to map out who is this exactly for. So this is for you if you're currently spending 20K or more per month on paid ads, but you cannot scale due to CPA that gets out of control every time you try to scale and increase the budget. This is for you if you're consistently doing 100K or more in monthly sales, already have a proven product market fit, but you want to scale to that 500K or $1 million per month mark. And this is also for you if you are desperately needing converting ad creatives for your ads, but you cannot seem to crack the code and create a system that consistently delivers winning creatives. Real quick, who is this not for? I think that this is a strategy that could be implemented for pretty much every business, but if your brand is doing less than 100K per month, I feel like you should be focusing on other places within your business just to make sure that you have that product market fit that is basically needed in order for this system to work, that you understand your customers as good as you can, your email marketing is working properly, and your website is optimized for conversions. The core concept of this video is basically to show you how to add an average of an extra 250k in monthly sales on a monthly basis by using direct response ad creatives that decrease your cost per acquisition and allow you to scale further, so that at some point you basically reach out to me because of all those actionable tips that I'm going to give you, and that we can work together. After working with a dozen of 7, 8, and 9-figure brands in the e-commerce space, some of them featured on Shark Tank, The Dragon's Den, and Los Angeles Fashion Week, basically we have noticed a recurring pattern, and this is that none of those brands was actually affected by iOS 14, which seems to be the main reason why some people or some brands are not able to scale. But I guess this is just an excuse that they use for not being able to scale. It actually allowed those brands to grow even faster because their competitors were struggling, but in the meantime, those brands that succeeded were able to adapt much quicker and see exponential growth, while other brands were struggling to scale and were even decreasing their advertising spend because of the inefficiencies that they were seeing. So you already know that iOS 14.5 basically killed the advertising space. Lack of attribution, lack of understanding which platform, which ad set was the one driving sales for your website, and you couldn't scale as effectively using the targeting that you were able to use previously. That might have brought you 5x or even 10x return on ad spend that actually became irrelevant overnight. You already know that broad audiences are the top performers for pretty much every single business that's advertising online. So basically what you need to do is change your approach. The truth is that Facebook made it super easy for people to start a business, put an ad online, find the right audience, and become rich overnight. It was just too easy, and Facebook created a lot of lazy marketers and a lot of business owners. So if you are currently working with an advertising agency that's basically not seeing any success with your advertising campaigns, most likely they were thriving before iOS 14.5, and I'm going to show you the example of such kind of an agency. But after the iOS 14.5, you really needed to start understanding the main reasons why somebody would buy, the main drivers for your customers, the main reasons basically why they wanted to solve the problem that they were looking to solve. Truth is that online advertising still works. It works even better than before, I should say. You just need to find the right approach. So having done hundreds of ad account audits in the last 6 months, I still see that the majority of e-commerce brands have not figured out the way to scale their brands with paid advertising. So as much as this is a challenge, it also opens up an incredible opportunity for your business, because your competitors are most likely still struggling. They don't know what to do to mitigate the effect or to overcome the problems that iOS 14.5 has caused. So if you act quickly, you might be seeing exponential returns in the near future. So most of those brands are still stuck in the button clicking mindset, but things are different now. And the truth is that in 2023, what you do outside of your ad account matters a lot more than what you do inside of your ad account. So the buttons that you click are pretty much irrelevant, because no matter what kind of an ad you put, if your product is good, if your offer is good, and if your creative is good and drives action from your ideal audience, then no matter what you do inside of the ad account, it's still gonna work. Maybe not as efficiently, maybe not as effectively. Instead of a 4x return on ad spend, you might be seeing a 3.2x return on ad spend, but it's still gonna work no matter what. So understanding who you are selling to, what their day-to-day looks like, what do they struggle with, what solutions are they looking for, and making them an irresistible offer, which, by the way, does not mean a 50% discount, is actually far more important than a CBO versus ABO campaign or an interest targeting compared to a broad targeting or cost cap against bid cap. This is pretty much irrelevant. It's not the thing that's going to make you make your ads work. So understanding what's the exact reason why people buy from you and incorporating this into your whole funnel, from your ads to the website to your marketing campaigns, is the thing that would unlock your growth. And once again, it's not going to be a cost cap versus a bid cap. So one of the things that those big brands that are still seeing success advertising online is that they actually understand the main reasons why people buy your products. As you can see here, this is a screenshot from the post-purchase survey one of our clients is currently doing after, of course, people buy from them. And they asked this question: what are you most looking forward to from your purchase today? As you can see here, people have given answers such as reducing anxiety, lowering stress, sleeping cooler, solving insomnia. But one thing really stands out, which is sleeping cooler. So understanding what's the main reason why people buy from you would allow you to basically focus your advertising campaigns on the sleeping cooler angle and tell people that they're going to stop sweating and they're not going to wake up at 3 a.m. Wet and having to change their bed sheets because these sheets are actually cooling. Understanding this would allow you to basically optimize the product pages of your website to showcase that sleeping cooler is one of the main benefits that people can basically get after they buy their product, which is obviously going to make their life better. So if this brand was focusing on the angle of lowering stress, they might not have been as successful as they currently are if they were not focusing on the sleeping cooler angle. So these brands that I just mentioned are not seeing success because of some super secret hack that they're doing inside of the ads manager. It's just that they are focusing on the details that the majority of their competitors are not focusing on. They're not understanding as good as they are, which eventually allows them to grow because their email marketing campaigns are focused on the sleeping cooler angle. Their website is focused on the sleeping cooler angle. Our ads are focused on the sleeping cooler angle. Pretty much everything is focused on the main reason why people buy. So I hope that you understand what I mean by focus on the right things. And those who adapt the fastest leverage the fundamental rules of advertising, because understanding your customer is not a secret. It's a fundamental rule of advertising. And using the latest tech, we'll see extraordinary growth. And those who fail to adapt will be punished, such as their competitors. All right, this was a longer introduction than I wanted, but I really wanted to convey the importance of paying attention to the little things that are going to bring exponential benefits to your business. So let me show you how we scaled from 800K in annual sales to 5 million in annual recurring revenue in only 7 months. So for this brand specifically, we started with ad account analysis, and the first thing we did after onboarding the brand was just this. They recently fired a huge, well-known marketing agency that apparently had absolutely no idea on how to manage their ads properly. There were some campaigns that were optimizing for add to cart, as you can see right here, and engagement, which is a huge red flag. As you can see here, middle of the funnel engagement campaigns, it had 0 sales and it had spent probably like $2,000 in the last 30 days. So huge red flag and signs of very, very easy wins that could be made right after we took on board this client. And then what we saw after jumping into the prospecting campaign that you see right here, TOF, which means top of funnel purchase, out, we saw this, which was to me quite shocking because this agency was charging a lot of money and you would expect them to be professionals and to know what they're doing. But we opened the campaign and then we saw this thing right here, which is a lot of different interest targeting audiences, lookalike audiences, interest targeting audiences, broad audiences, lookalikes, pretty much everything under the sun they were testing. For some reason they were not doing any optimizations. And this meant that the brand was spending money and not profitably. More than 20 active ad sets, different creatives inside each one. If you know anything about running Facebook ads, you know that you test one thing at a time so that you isolate all of the variables that could drive your results forward and make an impact. So you test one thing at a time, multiple different targeting options, multiple different creatives inside each targeting option, multiple different landing pages. So even if you're considering this as a test, it's not actually something that would give you a statistical significance as to what you need to improve and what's driving the results forward for your brand. So apparently they were testing something which I doubt that even they knew what it was. Second thing that we did for Pretty Party is we analyzed their competitors, because Pretty Party is actually one of the leading brands in the hair extension space because they're LA Fashion Week partner, so pretty huge name. there were a few competitors with great ads. So we went on Instagram, found 5 of their biggest competitors that were actively spending money on Facebook, and we analyzed their ads library. So we saw that most of them were actually using a before and after comparison of how people look with or without the ponytail. Pre-party had 0 creatives focusing on that angle, which was something that we didn't really understood why that was happening. So what we did for them is we developed completely new creatives. After analyzing PP competition, we knew what to focus on, before and after videos, so that's what we did. And we had their content creators produce before and after clips that our creative team was able to edit and create videos that we launched as paid ads. As you can see here, these are 2 of the ads that we created for pre-party, because they're a bit different. As you can see here, this is the first 2 seconds of the video, the first 3 seconds, which is also known as the hook. And every time we create new ads for our clients, we follow one specific rule, which is we want to have at least 2 different hooks for every ad concept that we produce. So out of those 2 hooks, there was one that actually performed way better, which is the split screen before and after compared to the before and after box to box, as I like to call it. So we tested different styles of the before and after split screen and a small box in the right hand corner of the screen. And the split screen was actually the winning variation. And here, basically, I wanted to show you more of the winning ads that we created for them. So this was one of the ads that actually got pretty much, I like to say, 80% of the total ad spend. And as you can see here, the hook was just a before and after. Then we moved to presenting the product and the main benefit of the product, which is complete your look in less than 30 seconds. And then we proceeded with product demonstration. We showed people how to use the product. And then we ended the creative with the full look and, of course, a call to action. So this was the first creative. This was the second creative, which is pretty similar, a before and after split screen, the main benefit of the product demonstration, and then shop now, which is the call to action. Pretty much the same thing right here. Before and after are very, very clear before and after, because apparently in the beauty space, a before and after is the thing that's your promise. So we try to leveraging it as much as possible. So we used different content creators. This is one of the optimizations what we do. Once we find the winning angle, the winning hook, basically the next thing we test is different content creators in order to see whether or not we can increase the impact of our findings and our research. So before and after, biggest promise of the product demonstration, main benefit, once again, adjustable, and then call to action. So as you can see here, we developed a lot of the same style of creatives, but the results were absolutely incredible because these new creatives actually decreased our on-platform cost per acquisition by $14. So at that scale, $14 was a big difference. As you can see here, we took it from $72 cost per acquisition in April to $58 cost per acquisition in May, which was huge. Like, you can only imagine how big of a difference it's going to make to your advertising campaigns. And we did this while we increased our spend from 100K per month to 140K per month. So for 140K per month in spend and $14 lower cost per acquisition. This meant that the brand was finally moving into profitability. The next thing that we did for pre-party is we did landing page testing, which actually proved to be a game changer because you're going to see for yourself right now. So we tested 4 different landing pages on a smaller scale before we rolled it out to our scaling campaigns, and we had a clear winner. So as you can see here, what I told you previously, when you test, it's pretty important for you to isolate everything apart from one single variable that you want to test. So we tested with the same demographic, women, 25-54, the same winning interest targeting, because at a smaller scale, interest targeting was performing better than broad targeting for us. And then we tested 4 different variations of the same landing page. This was our hero page. And then, of course, 3 new variations. As you can see here, One of the landing pages, which is this one that's highlighted in blue, brought the cost per purchase to $23, which is $13 less compared to our hero landing page. The return on ad spend difference was huge. It was like 1.7 compared to 2.6, and the brand I think was having like a 1.5 or 1.4 break-even return on spend. So yeah, like seeing this big of a difference can have huge impact on your business. So 4 different ad sets, same audiences, paired with a winning creative. Basically, it was 1 creative per ad set, our winning ad creative, and the same amount of daily spend. So we had a clear winner. One of the landing pages was able to decrease our cost per acquisition to $23, which is pretty insane. And what we did after that is we kept scaling until we actually hit 150K in monthly ad spend. So basically, in 7 months, we were able to take the brand and the ad account from 40K in monthly spend, and as you can see here in the beginning, 40K and a 70K revenue meant that the brand was terribly unprofitable. So we were able to take them from 40K in monthly spend and unprofitable ads and funnel to 150K in monthly ad spend and almost 400K in sales, while decreasing our cost per acquisition by $25. So we raised the spend, but we decreased the cost per acquisition. And in July, we were able to generate over 380K in gross sales. I think it was around 370K in net sales, if I'm not mistaken, excluding the returns, with 150K in ad spend at a 2.53x return on ad spend, with a break even of below 1.5x. And basically that helped the business to get acquired for an undisclosed amount of money. And that's basically how our data-driven creative system works. So it's a system that we have tried and tested multiple times. And right now you might be asking yourself the question, cool, I've got all of this stuff that I need to focus on, but how am I actually gonna implement this? And of course you have 3 options. Keep working with your current agency, get the results that you're currently getting, do it yourself, risk wasting time and money to try to figure it out on your own, or just get in touch with my team, and if you don't double your revenue in 6 months, you don't pay us. As you can see here, these are just more examples of how we implemented our data-driven creative system for multiple e-commerce businesses. As you can see here, 17 days, $717,000 in net profit, 52% increase compared to the month before, 4x return on ad spend. Then we have here another client of ours that saw a 60% increase without them having to increase their spend, 60% increase in revenue with the same amount of spend, just because we implemented our data-driven creative system. We did our research, we understood what were the key drivers, emotional drivers of their audience in order to buy their product. Then we created those creatives and basically scaled them to with 60% in 4 months. Then we have this brand right here, which reached their highest selling day, $95,000 on November 25th, which of course is Black Friday. But usually when I get this question, okay, cool, but this was Black Friday, I ask people, all right, but how much you did on Black Friday? So we were able to generate the highest sales day for this brand, which is, I guess, expected. But here, no Black Friday. In 14 days, we were able to spend $14,000 on TikTok and generate $78,000 in sales. 14 days, once again, 5.4x return on spend. So apparently this system works. We have tested it multiple times, and basically this is what you're going to get if you decide to work with our team and get in touch with us. It's a completely different system. You don't need to do anything on your end. We're going to manage your ads. We're going to produce the content for those ads. As I said, UGC, static images, short animated videos, and you're going to receive updates 2 times per week on how things are working out, so that you can basically focus on the important stuff for your business, work on instead of in it, have more time to spend your friends, family, without worrying actually whether or not your business is going to grow. Go buy that Lamborghini. If that's what you want, be able to afford those expensive masterminds where you meet other 7, 8, and 9 figure business owners that can tell you what are the next steps for you to grow your business. And of course, here there are some questions that you might have before you start working with us. Tried this in the past, it didn't work. The majority of the brands that we work with have tried UGC and advertising on TikTok in the past, but it has never worked. That's why before we start working with the brand, we usually do an account audit in order to understand what are the reasons why it hasn't worked. And after the audit, we can basically give you actionable steps on what you can improve and whether or not we can actually improve something for you. Because if we don't think that we can help you, we just won't work together. Is this expensive? Well, not as expensive as you would expect it to be, but in some cases we are going to 2x, 3x, 5x your business, and we like to get compensated for this. If you don't have time for everything that I have presented, it just takes us 60 minutes to onboard you as a client. From that point on, basically what you need to do is respond to our Slack messages and jump on our 30-minute weekly check-in call. So it's not much as expected from you. I don't trust you. Yeah, I understand. I know. But yeah, we can get you in touch with some of our existing clients, and basically I can show you some of the testimonials that they gave us, so that basically I win your trust. So that was pretty much everything. I appreciate your time. I hope that you learned something, and you are going to be ending this video with some actionable steps for you to implement for your business. That's basically what we did to scale this brand from 70K to almost 400K in sales in 7 months. Yeah. If you'd like, go ahead, implement things, and please let me know if you were able to see success with it. Thank you for your time, and yeah, good luck.